start out today. Well, actually, just welcome. Welcome, everybody. We're going to start out today in a seat, a cross-legged seat. If you're not already there, you can make your way. It's always nice to sit up on something, elevate the hips slightly. It's just a gentler way to begin. And maybe closing your eyes. Take a moment to just wiggle, adjust yourself, center yourself evenly side to side. Rest your hands wherever is comfortable. Maybe just begin to let that stillness seep in. Tuning into your body, the physical sensations. Maybe noticing your overall energy level, your emotional state, these different layers of yourself. And if it feels good to just kind of lightly rub your hands up and down along your legs, it's a very soothing, grounding action. You can see how that feels. And then just come to stillness. Notice the energy of just that gentle movement. Perhaps you still feel the sensation in your palms, in your legs. And from here, let's just take in 3 cleansing breaths together. We're going to inhale in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. 2 more times. Just listen. Exhaling out. 1 more time. Feeling the breath. Just allow your breath to continue to deepen. Two more breaths here. We're going to start to add our movement. We're going to begin by just switching out the cross of the legs. So it helps to make a note of which shin is in front. Cross the opposite one in front. Resettle yourself, finding a tall spine. And we're going to continue to just work with our energy today. I thought we would do some thumps, which are a great way of stimulating different energy centers in the body. And we're going to start by you kind of make this little clasping your thumb, the other 3 fingers together. You can leave your pinky out. And we're going to start by coming onto the cheekbones, kind of right underneath the eyes where there's this little prominence. And we're just going to lightly tap there. And this spot is great for just instantly calming the body. You don't have to really thump hard, but notice the feeling, the sensation. You can even explore slightly, moving the hands a little, just in either direction, and see if that changes anything. And then we're going to come to stillness here. And the next tab that we're going to take is right underneath the collarbones where there's this little prominence. You just come down and just a little bit to the side where there's kind of a little hollowing out underneath the collarbones. And we do the same tap here, either side, just a gentle tap. Now this one here is great for just aligning the energies when we feel really scrambled. Tapping ourselves here just balances out. Side to side, gets things going in the right direction. Okay, we'll slow that down. And then the next one we're going to come down to, you can just use your right hand for this. We're going to come down kind of right over the sternum here, just above the chest line, and then it's a tap right to center here. This is your thymus point. The thymus is directly beneath, and this tap just helps to stimulate the immune system. And we'll come to stillness again. And then the last and final point that we're going to do is actually just a little bit above the belly button, out to the side where our low ribs are here, just over kind of the notch there. And then again, we're just tapping. You can use 2 or 3 fingers, tapping either side. And this is the spleen points here. Again, great for the immune system, overall vitality. Right. And then we'll let that one go. We're just going to bring the hands back down to the lap and then just observe for a breath or two just how you feel. If that changed any feelings in the body. Feel the energy at those points. Great. And from here, let's start to make some circles with the torso. We're just going to reach the chest in front, swirling the chest forwards, over to the left and back. Start meditative movement here. Those thumps are just a great general everyday practice, especially if you're ever feeling scrambled, which can be quite common, especially in the fall. That's a great way to just pull yourself back together, calm yourself down. This feels great. Let's just pause, take our circles the opposite way. Let's go one more circle this way. We're going to slow it down, come to stillness. And then from here, let's inhale to reach both arms up, long spine. We're going to lengthen up both sides of the waist. And then on our exhale, let's rotate towards the right, gently lowering the hands down. Go easy on this twist. Just observe in your body the sensation as you just reach the right ribs, right shoulder back. And then next inhale, we'll unwind. We're going to come back up through center, lengthen. As you exhale, rotating left, letting the hands just float down. And observe. And then next inhale, let's come back through center. We'll reach up, maybe gazing up. And then let's just bring the palms together here, lower the hands down through heart center. I'll take the hands down to the lap. From here, we're going to uncross the legs. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. We're just going to take a quick bound angle pose here. You can wiggle the heels in any amount. Maybe we just rock the hips a little side to side if that feels good, or just hold in stillness. Think about creating a tall spine. And then let's come to stillness. We'll allow the hips to settle. You can always place blocks under your thighs. We're going to drop the chin down towards your chest and then just begin to rock your head a little side to side. Maybe next time you rock right ear over towards the right shoulder, just pause. Allow your left shoulder to be heavy. And then come back down through center. We'll rock the left ear towards the left shoulder, pause. And then come back down through center. We'll lift the chin back up parallel with the mat. And then from here, let's zip the legs up. We'll lengthen the legs out, give them a little shake. And then we're going to take the legs out wide. We'll bend into the right knee. So we're kind of halfway back to where we just were, bringing that right foot inside of the left leg. And then we're going to take one hand down to either side. We'll start by lifting the right arm up and just leaning in towards that left side. And then let's come back up. We'll lower that right hand down. This time the left arm reaches up. We'll lean in towards the right. You can always crawl that bottom hand out. And then let's come back up. We'll take that top hand down. From here, we're going to just take the right leg out, take the left leg in, reset. And this time, let's reach the left arm up. We're going to lean in towards the right. And then come back up. We'll take that left hand down, reach right arm up. We lean in towards the left. And then come back up. We'll take that right hand down to the mat. Now we're going to take the left leg out and we'll just pause here. Pause here, allowing your legs to lengthen any amount. You can always have a bend in the knees. We're going to take the hands down to the legs. And then from here, we're going to take a little dip and a twist towards the left. We're going to drop the right shoulder down. We'll just rotate any amount, shifting the gaze over the left shoulder. And then we'll come back through center. We're going to dip the left shoulder down, take a little gaze over the right shoulder. And then just a few more times, flowing that movement, we'll dip and twist towards the left. Come back up through center. We'll dip and twist towards the right. And one more time. Coming back through center, let's just help the legs back in towards one another. Give the legs a little wiggle. Go a little side to side. And then maybe just for something a little different, pause. Let's bring the hands down by the side and let's just point the toes. Point the toes. So you get a nice stretch for the fronts of the ankles, the tops of the feet, something we don't often get. And then we'll flex back into the feet. From here, we're going to bend into the knees. And then we're going to make our way to tabletop. Come up and over. You can pat under your knees. Line everything up. Tabletop. And then from here, we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow. Just inhale to drop your belly, lift your chest. Lift your tailbone. As you exhale, round your spine, scoop your belly button and tuck your chin, and just flow back and forth here. Following the flow of the breath. Coming back to this idea, this energy in the body, or prana, as we call it in yoga, or I believe that it is called. The prana moves through the body. It's activated by the breath. We open up channels. With the breath, the prana can flow. We're just going to think about that. The movement of the prana, the energy throughout the body as we move through the different shapes. We'll go one more cycle. Finding a neutral spine, coming to stillness. We're going to begin to walk the hands back, rising up onto the shins. And then from here, let's inhale to reach both arms around and up. You can always pat under your knees. We're going to interlace the fingers. We'll leave the index fingers free. So we make this little arrow, kind of directing the energy upwards through our fingertips. And then we're going to just take a little lean over towards the right. We'll come back through center, take a little lean over towards the left. We'll just do this a few more times, just leaning like you're swaying in the wind. We'll just go one more time, side to side. And then let's pause. From here, we're going to release the hands apart. We're going to draw elbows wide, making cactus arms, goddess arms. And from here, you can just flow your heart forwards. As if you're going to scoop your chest in between your arms, maybe we let the gaze shift up towards the ceiling. And then let's just begin to stretch both arms long again. We'll bring palms to touch. We're going to lower the hands down through heart center. And then from here, gazing down, take your hands down to the mat. We'll line everything back up, tabletop. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot straight out to the side. So we'll plant that right foot down. We're going to line up the arch about with that left knee. And then from here, we're going to add in a side stretch, just walking both hands over towards that right leg, stepping the hands over, just lengthening any amount. Make sure it feels okay in your body. Just pause at your edge. And then we'll walk both hands back through center. We're going to line up the wrists underneath the shoulders here. And we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow with that right leg extended. Inhaling to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhaling to round. And just see how this feels different with that leg outstretched. Certainly different sensation in the hip and the groin. One more cycle. And then a long spine. And from here, we're going to walk the hands back. Again, we're going to rise up. And again, you can have padding under that bent knee. Now from here, we're going to tee the arms out to the side. Just take a moment to lengthen fingertip to fingertip. Reach up through the crown of your head. Find your steadiness. And then we're going to gaze down towards the left side. We're going to drop the left hand down. The right arm will lift up. That bottom hand could come down to a block. And then our shoulders are stacking here. The left fingertips reach up. And actually, then we're going to take some circles. We're going to reach the left arm forwards, down, around, and up. We'll go 3 circles this direction. And then just pause, and we'll go 3 circles the opposite way. Keeping everything else steady. And after that 3rd circle, let's just pause, left fingertips reaching up. Now this is optional here. Maybe we rotate those left ribs back. Maybe we open that left arm back. You can tip gaze up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we'll just begin to close the left hand back down to the mat as we walk the hands forwards. We'll reset, step that right leg in. And this time we'll step the left foot out to the side, planting that left foot down. And then from here, keeping our hips where they are, we just begin to walk both hands over towards the left. Remember, you just walk over as much as you're comfortable. You pause at your edge. Everything feels okay, and just relax your neck. And then we come back through center. And then once we're here, a few rounds of cat and cow. Steadying down through that left foot, feeling the sensation, spine, and that left hip, that left groin. After your 3rd cycle, finding stillness. And from here, walking the hands back, lifting up, finding our steadiness. Make sure you feel steady here. And then we can tee the arms out to the side, lengthening fingertip to fingertip. We're going to gaze down to the right this time as we tip down. Left arm reaches up. Our 3 big circles here. And after those 3, then we just reverse it out, opposite direction. And then we pause. And then this is where maybe we open it up here, taking the left ribs back, that left arm back, maybe opening gaze up towards the ceiling. And then we can just close that left hand back down. At the same time, we're going to walk the hands forwards. Bring that left leg in. And then from here, let's take the knees a little bit wider. Bring big toes to touch, and we'll slowly ease the hips down towards the heels. Crawl the fingertips forwards. Child's pose. Easing in. Softening your shoulders, letting your wrists relax. Now next inhale, we'll slowly begin to rise up. We'll find our way to tabletop. And then from here, we're going to take the palms forward about a palm's width distance. We'll tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. We're going to take a downward facing dog here. First one, just Walk your dog, go side to side, pedaling out the feet. And just remember that you can always take your arms a little bit wider. If this feels pinchy in your shoulders, you can let the palms roll out a little bit. I'm going to see if we can straighten the arms any amount. Lengthen up the spine, reach the hips up and back towards the wall behind. Find a moment of steadiness here. And then let's put a deep bend into the knees. We're going to shift the gaze forwards and begin to walk it up to the top. As many steps as you need. Give yourself a generous bend in the knees. And then from here, let's take an inhale. Find a halfway lift. We'll slide hands up the shins, creating a long spine. Feel that stretch in your spine as you reach your tailbone back. You lengthen crown of the head forwards. Exhale to fold in. Again, softening into the knees. And then next inhale, we'll rise up, sweeping the arms around and up. Exhale, arms down by the side. And then let's inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold in. Remember, give yourself a bend in the knees. Inhale to half lift. We can straighten out, lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to sweep your arms around and up. Exhale, arms down by your side. And then just steady down through both feet. As we inhale, we're going to reach the arms around and up. And then as we exhale, let's take some nice wrist circles, just floating our way down. And then once we come down, we're going to inhale to reach back up. And this time we're going to take our wrist circles the opposite way. Just like water running downstream till we come to the bottom. And let's pause. And then with your next inhale, sweep your arms around and up. Exhale to fold in. We're going to hinge forward. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Let's either bring the hands down to the mat or blocks, and we're going to step it back. Right foot way back, finding our lunge, left knee forwards. And then from here, we're going to drop the right knee down, pad under your knee if you like here. Slowly begin to rise your way up. Take your time. Hands can come to that front knee. We'll find a tall spine. Make sure everything feels steady here. And then let's inhale to reach the arms up. Pause here. Feel this shape. See if you can feel your energy flowing. Maybe you feel the rise up through your fingertips. And then we'll take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to go wide this time, away from that bent knee side. We're going to rotate towards the right, opening the arms wide, a nice big T shape. And then shift your gaze forwards. From here, we'll bend into the left elbow. We're going to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then we can reach that right arm alongside the ear, drawing right fingertips forwards. Now from here, let's bend into that right elbow. Take the hand back behind the head. And then we're going to think about reaching those right ribs up. Maybe we shift the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then we can rotate the gaze back down. We'll extend that right arm back out. Gaze can go down to the mat here. We're going to just lower that right hand down, reach the left hand down. From here, we'll walk both hands back as we straighten into the left leg for our half split. And maybe we pause here. We can always just hold into this, or if you want to flow it, we can walk the hands forwards, bend into that left knee, walk the hands back. We'll just do that a couple times. So either holding statically or flowing the movement. One more time. And then let's bend back into that left knee, walking the hands forwards, planting that left foot down. We'll tuck the right toes under. We're going to lift that right knee up, press out through the right heel, and gazing forwards, preparing to step up, right foot. Inhaling to half lift. Exhaling to fold. Let's inhale to sweep arms around and up. Exhale the arms down by the side. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, we'll fold in. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold, and we're going to plant the hands, mat or blocks this time. Left foot will step back. We tap the left toes down. And then we lower the left knee down. We're going to adjust our shape here if we need to. That right knee over the ankle, hips facing forwards. Take your time to rise up. Hands can come to that front knee. We can pause there. And then last but not least, just adding the arms, reaching fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then just observe this shape here before we change anything else. Feeling all the way from your tailbone up through the crown of your head, up through the fingertips. And then we're going to go wide this time as we rotate towards the left. Belly, ribs, and chest, opening the arms wide, lengthening fingertip to fingertip. It's a little wobbly. We'll shift the gaze forwards, bending into that right elbow, lowering that right forearm down, reaching the left arm up, and then we can draw the left fingertips forwards. So kind of like our side angle. And then we'll take that left palm, bring that left hand lightly behind the head. We can think about reaching that left elbow up, rotating those left ribs up any amount, maybe shifting the gaze up. And then we can drop the gaze down. We'll lengthen that left arm out, gazing down towards the blocks. Let's just take that left hand down to the block, unwrap the right arm, take the right arm down. And then from here, we'll walk the hands back. We'll straighten into that right leg. We can either hold or we flow, bending and straightening. Sometimes it feels good to hold. You might be ready for that, warmed up in your body. Sometimes it feels good to keep the movement going. It's just an observation you make in your body. Let's go one more time. And then we bend back into that right knee, planting that right foot, letting everything settle. Tuck the left toes under. We'll lift the left knee up, pausing for a moment, gazing down towards the mat, preparing to step up, stepping that left foot forwards. Inhaling to half lift, exhaling to fold in, and then inhale to sweep your arms around and up. Exhale, the arms down. And then from here, we're going to turn to face the long edge of the mat. We'll go towards the front of the studio. I'm going to mix it up. We'll just bring our blocks along. We won't use them for a little bit. But we're going to start by stepping the feet wide, having the blocks in front. Feet go wide, maybe about as wide as your wrists if you tee your arms out to the side. That's just a guide. It could always be less than that. We'll take the hands down to the hips. From here, we're going to step up onto the right toes. We're going to open up the right hip, opening from the hip. So the right knee is going to rotate up towards the front of the room here. We're going to bend into that right knee, seal down that back foot. We've got our heel to arch alignment, or we can be wider. Heel to heel, even wider. We're going to let the hip settle. Add the arms teed out to the side, and feel your feet here. Grounding down through the feet, feel your hips, feel your shoulders. And then we're going to flip the right palm up. We're going to inhale to straighten into that right leg, reach the right arm up. As we exhale, we'll rebend, warrior two, teeing the arms out. That will be our flow. Inhaling to straighten right leg, reach right arm up. Exhaling to bend. Let's go 2 more times. Meet in our warrior two. We'll straighten into that right leg, take the hands to the hips, shift the right toes towards the long edge. Second side, we're going to lift onto the left toes, open up from that left hip, planting the left heel down, finding our warrior two, bending into that front knee, grounding down the back foot, adding the arms. Gazing out over the front fingertips. Feel your steadiness here. Settle in. One more breath. And then we'll add our dynamic movement, flipping the left palm up, straightening left leg, reaching the left arm up. Exhaling to rebend. Floating between the two shapes. Just follow your breath. And we'll go 2 more times. Meeting back in warrior 2. Pausing. Let's straighten into the left leg. Take the hands to the hips. Shift the left toes forwards. Now from here, steady through both feet. Just make sure your feet are parallel and aligned with one another. Create a nice tall spine. We'll keep the hands to the hips here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, just begin to hinge forward, folding at the hips till we come about halfway down where the torso is parallel with the mat. It could always be less than that. We can pause there. We're going to take the hands down to the ground, to the mat or blocks. If the hands don't reach the ground, then we might hang out here, or we have the option to continue to hinge forward, folding in. You can always dial the blocks down. You can always let go of the blocks if you find you no longer need them. Just straightening into the legs any amount. Hinging and tipping forwards. And then next inhale, let's press into the feet. Find a halfway lift. We'll take the hands to the hips. We're going to continue to ground down through the feet. Maybe a small little bend in the knees before we rise our way up. Give yourself time. And then from here, let's just walk, step, pop the feet in. Give your legs a little wiggle. And then we're just going to come back out into that same wide-legged shape. We'll step the feet out. We're going to revisit our warrior 2 right side. So we'll lift onto the toes, open up from that right hip, land it all down. And then from here, we're going to take it into our triangle pose. So we'll straighten into the right leg. Arms are teed out. We're going to keep pinning that right hip back as we hinge forward, lengthening right fingertips as far forwards as you can. Then just let your right hand come down to your shin, or we could bring it down to a block inside of that shin. We're going to reach the left arm up. Left ribs rotating up towards the ceiling. We're going to lengthen out the spine here. Think reaching crown of the head forwards, creating more space in those bottom ribs. And then next inhale, let's begin to rise up. We'll just take the hands to the hips, steer the right toes towards that long edge, lift onto the left toes. We'll open the left hip up, bending into that front knee, landing in our warrior 2 first. And then we'll straighten into that left leg, pinning the left hip back as we hinge over that left hip crease, sliding left fingertips forwards, dropping that left hand down, reaching the right arm up for our triangle. Just remember, different options for where we place that bottom hand. Keeping the length in the spine. It's not so much about how low we go, but see if you can keep that long spine, the length in both legs, and just hinge at the hip. And that's how we get the hands lower. Next inhale, we'll rise up. We're going to take hands to the hips, steer the left toes towards the long edge. We're going to do that wide-legged fold one more time, but we're going to do it a little differently. We'll take the hands behind the back. We're going to interlace the fingers, steady down through both feet. Find that tall spine. And then from here, as you exhale, begin to hinge forwards, folding forwards. We can pause it halfway. We can always keep the hands to the low back, or we can continue to fold forwards, and we might lift the knuckles up towards the ceiling, straightening into the arms any amount. Listen to your body. Remember, hands could always stay to the low back, or if you want to try reaching the arms up, but it's too close with the hands together here, just take the hands apart, reach the fingertips up. We'll take one more breath here. Then we'll lower the hands down to the low back if they're lifted. We're going to release hands down to the mat or our blocks. Take a moment, pause in a halfway lift here. Lengthen out your spine. And then from here, let's take the hands back up to the hips. We're going to steady into the feet, slowly begin to rise your way up. And then we'll walk, step, hop, heel toe feet back in together. This time, just let your arms hang. Give yourself a swish, swing side to side. And let's slow it down, come to stillness. We'll come back up to the top of the mat. We can bring our blocks along, set ourselves back up. And then from here, we're going to take a balance. We're going to find tree pose today. So if you want to step off your mat, if that's secure, if you want to come closer to the wall, you can. We'll bring the hands to the hips. We're going to steady down through the left foot, lifting onto the right toes. And from the hip, like we did before, we're going to open that right knee out to the side, rotating from the hip. We can kickstand that right foot to the ankle. We could bring the foot to the calf. We could bring the foot higher up if you want to come above the knee. Once you've found your bind, steady down through that left foot, create a nice tall spine. Maybe we just reach the arms around and up. You can make a big Y. We could bring the arms up alongside the ears, whatever feels good. Find your steadiness, keep your gaze focused. And then let's begin to bring the palms to touch. We'll lower the hands down through heart center. And we're going to try just rotating the right knee forwards, setting that right foot down. Let it go. Put a little wiggle. All right. We'll take hands to the hips. We're going to steady down through the right foot, lifting onto the left toes, opening up the left hip, finding our tree pose, second side. Listen to your body here. One side might be different from the other. Strong right leg, reaching the arms up as you're ready. You can do what you like with your arms here. Just feeling the sensations. Feel all the way from that right foot up through the fingertips. Keep your gaze steady. And let's bring palms to touch. We'll lower the hands down through heart center. This is just the last little bit. We rotate the left knee forwards, set the left foot down. Give it a little wiggle. Whatever feels good in your body, just shake it out. All right, and then finding our mountain pose up at the top. Steadying down through both feet. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. We're going to plant the hands. From here, we're stepping back to plank. Both feet back. Long spine. Knees can always drop right down to the mat. You just want to make sure we've got wrists under the shoulders. Belly button tucking in. Shoulder blades lightly reaching in towards the spine as we lengthen the crown of the head forwards. Let's tap the knees down. From here, a child's pose. We'll just take the knees a little wider, ease the hips down and back. Settle yourself in. Make sure there's enough room here if you need to go a little wider with the knees. Relax your neck. Maybe even just rock your head a little side to side here. If that feels good, you can massage the forehead. And then from here, we're going to begin to inhale ourselves up, but we're going to find our flowing movement. So inhaling up through our tabletop onto hands and knees. We'll keep the arms out. We're going to rock the hips forwards, reach the heart forwards any amount. You can always bring the hands a little further forwards. And then as we exhale, we'll just shift the hips down and back towards the heels. And then inhaling, we can come forwards, maybe just up through tabletop. You can always pause there, or we find our cobra, or some degree of that. You listen to your body, make sure everything feels okay. Hips, shoulders, wrists. If any component doesn't feel good, remember we modify or we pause. You could always come into a Sphinx pose instead. One more time. And then we'll meet back in child's pose. Let that movement settle. Find your stillness. And then let's slowly begin to rise up onto hands and knees again. This time, just a transition. We're going to scoot the feet around. We're going to find our way to a seat, drawing the legs out in front. And then let's start with the feet hips width distance apart, with the knees bent. We're going to find a tall spine. We can just pause here for a moment. Take your hands behind your legs, create that tall spine. And then we're going to begin to lean back until our arms come towards straight, belly button scooping in. This might be where we stay. We can pause here. Or we might try lifting one foot up, lifting the other foot up. Maybe the shins are parallel with the mat. We can continue to hold behind the knees, supporting, or we can reach the fingertips forwards. All those different options. You can always lower your feet down any point. We're going to pause in our boat pose here, maybe 2 or 3 breaths. You can always take the feet down, one or both. Listen to your body. Let's take the feet down. Just give yourself a hug here. Just wrapping arms around the legs, tucking your chin in. And then we're going to begin to make our way down onto our backs. Make sure you have a strap. We're just going to be here. We're going to do something a little bit fun. A little bit fun today. But first, we're going to start out on our backs, lifting the feet up, kind of drawing the knees in towards the chest. Maybe we rock a little side to side here a few times. And then we're going to come to stillness. We'll begin to straighten into the legs, any amount reaching the feet up towards the ceiling. You might just pause here, feel that sensation for a moment. Make sure that we're tucking belly button in towards the spine, so we're supporting our low back here. And then we can take the hands outside of the thighs, and we're just going to begin to open and close the legs. This is going to be our movement, just opening, zipping the legs back up. One more time. And we'll zip the legs back up. We'll bend into the knees. We're going to set the feet down. And then from here, we're going to do our fun shape that requires the strap perhaps. So just we make sure we have the strap handy. And then we're going to tip onto our right side, rolling over onto the right side. We'll start here. We're going to straighten out into the legs. So we're lining up everything on the right side. And Megan, if this feels uncomfortable for you at all on your side, you could try placing a blanket kind of underneath your belly so you get a little bit of support there if you need to. And then from here, we're going to begin to bend into the left knee, that top leg. We're going to find a sideline tree pose, bringing that left foot to the inside of the right leg. Wherever you want to go, it can go any point. And that left knee is rotating up towards the ceiling. We're going to steady down through that right side. And then from here, the next little step is that we can bend into the right elbow, the bottom elbow, and make a little shelf for our head. You just bend into that bottom arm. You can rest your head on your palm. You can steady down through your left fingertips. Or you can keep your head down. That's entirely optional. You might bring your head to a blanket. Now from here, the next shape that we're going to go into, we have options. We're going to straighten out that top leg, but we can either loop the peace fingers to the big toe and straighten out. We can loop our strap around the ball of that left foot and we can straighten out. Or we can just support with our hand behind the thigh and we can straighten that left leg that way. So all those options. We're reaching that left foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to steady down through that whole right side. And this is called Vishnu's couch pose. It's a nice stretch for that top leg. Nice little kind of side stretch as well. And we get a little bit of core work here, stabilizing. We'll just take one more breath here. And then we're going to bend back into that left knee, setting the left foot down. We can relax our head down, just resting on that bottom arm if we lifted the head. We're just going to let that left knee fold in down towards the ground this time. So we're kind of like in a side-lying recovery kind of position here with that left knee forwards. And just pause for a moment. And then we'll just begin to straighten out into that left leg. From here, we can roll onto our backs, and we're just going to begin to tip our way onto the left side this time. Making sure we have all of our supplies. You can bend into that bottom arm, rest the head down to start, straighten into both legs, and just stack everything up. So we're on the side of our body. And then from here, we're going to begin to bend into the right knee, bringing the right foot to that left thigh, finding that side lying tree pose to start. You can even just visualize this in your mind's eye for a moment. We're in our tree pose, just on the ground, on our side. And then from our tree pose, we're going to just change the shape of that bottom arm. We can bend into that bottom elbow. You can make a little shelf for your head, placing your head on that palm. And of course, we could always stay here. Or we're going to straighten that top leg. Remember all the options, looping the peace fingers, strap around the ball of that right foot, or we just support behind that right leg using the hands. And we're just working towards straightening, extending, finding our balance here, softening where we can, because you might notice as you find your balance, maybe you're tightening up in your face or in your shoulder or in your jaw. We want to let that go. And then we're just going to begin to bend back into that right knee. We'll set the right foot down. We're going to relax the head down and just let that right knee fold in towards the ground. That's the nice counter stretch here. Just softening in. Let that go. And then let's just begin to straighten back out into that right leg. And then from here, we're going to just roll back onto the back again. And once we come onto our back, we can bend into the knees. And we're going to actually grab a prop or a block here. I'm sorry, I don't think I cued that down, but we can take a supported bridge pose here. So taking our block, doing a little bit of foot yoga. Take our block, we're going to lift the hips up and we'll scoot the block underneath the block, the low, wide way to start. If you feel pretty comfortable here and you're looking for more sensation, we could dial the block up. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you can take the block out. Listen to your body. Make sure you feel good. And then just settle yourself in, relaxing arms down by the sides. Finding your breath. Easing into this. Feeling all the sensations where you feel maybe the energy still swirling, moving, feeling your body. Maybe you feel yourself beginning to cool. Feel your breath to deepen. Feel your hips settling into the support of the block. And take 2 more breaths here. We're gonna slowly come out of this shape. We can press into the feet, just lifting the hips up enough to scoot the block out, and then Slowly lowering your hips back down, letting your hips land. And then we'll take the arms wider. Nice big T shape. We'll take the feet wider and we're going to take a little windshield wiper side to side here. Maybe the next time you come to the right, just let your knees fold over to the right and pause, or continue to flow the movement. And if we're paused, maybe we drop the right hand down to that right leg and just slowly begin to sweep the left arm up alongside the ear. Create a little extra length on that left side. And then let's just begin to tee both arms out again. We'll bring the knees back up through center. We'll let the knees drop over to the left and pause. And then further option to drop the left arm down and sweep the right arm up alongside the ear. That feels good. Lengthening out that right side. And then teeing the arms back out. Bringing the knees up through center. And then just gently lengthen one leg out. Lengthen the other leg out. Maybe rock your hips a little. Let your low back relax. So now we're kind of in a big X shape. And just allow your body to settle. Feel all that openness in the front of your body. And then we'll slowly begin to bring the legs together. We're going to bring the arms up overhead all the way. Just lengthen out. Create as much length as you can. Extend. And then let's release. We're going to let the arms slowly come down by the sides. Take whatever last movements feel good. Maybe you want to bend into the knees, maybe tuck into a ball one more time. Whatever it is that you might feel in your body. Any last movements? And then coming to stillness. Beginning to make your way into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Take your time to prop yourself up, add your layers, bring yourself some comfort in this shape. Decide if you want to keep knees bent, if you want to take the legs out long, if you want to lie on your side. Close your eyes, and then let's just take one cleansing breath together. We're going to exhale out and just release anything out, any last little bit you've got. Inhaling in and just exhale and release. Let it all flow out. Let yourself settle completely. Finding your rest. And then the quote for today comes from Nikola Tesla. This is, throughout the infinite, the forces are in a perfect balance, and hence the energy of a single thought may determine the motion of a universe. All that energy interconnected, balancing itself out, going from one shape to another. Begin to bring your awareness back into the space. Starting with little wiggles, fingers and toes. Building the movement up. Every movement feels good, most intuitive. Listen to your body. And then just as you're ready, begin to make your way onto one side. We'll pause there. Fetal position. Knees hugged in. Just as you're ready, begin to use your top hand to help press yourself up to a seat, finding a comfortable seat. Deciding what that's going to be, maybe keeping your eyes closed. Settle in for a breath. Just soften your shoulders. And then with your next inhale, circle your arms around and up. We'll bring palms to touch. As you exhale, just lower your hands down through heart center. We'll pause here. In with your heart space. And then if you'd like to join me in the sacred sound of Om, that is always just an option. You can just listen and absorb. But if you'd like to participate, we'll inhale together here. Om. And then next inhale, just gently lifting your chest. As you exhale, bowing forward. Thank you so much for sharing in this practice with me. Namaste. Mm-hmm.